What defines a hero? Some say it's one's popularity, while others claim it's an individual's goals. But for me, it's a person who stands up for others who don't have the power to do so, and whoever could fit such role than everybody's favorite Hashira. Rengoku Kyojuro here is from Demon Slayer Mugen Train and acts as the mentor to the main protagonist whom they can look up to, also the biggest Giga Chad in the film, with such Chad status making him one of the most beloved characters in the series. When closely monitoring the face, you can clearly witness the sculptors imbued their heart and soul into the work of art as it accurately resembles Rengoku's face as depicted in the anime. The thick eyebrows, the firelit eyes, the sharp nose, and the one-dimensional mouth just oozes Rengoku's Giga Chad nature. But if you're not content with the face, what's wrong with you? Figma came prepared as they added 2 additional faces, the second face being a joyful expression that brings in the fire to light up one's heart. But I'm a minor! Light up your heart! And the legal age of consent in Japan is 13.
I get older, they stay the same age.
And there's also a blood-soaked face that is portrayed when Rengoku is out of his league. And if you've ordered Rengoku from the Good Smile store, you receive an additional closed eyes expression that perfectly suits Rengoku when he's listening to his kohais or when he's dozing off. Important point to know is that Rengoku comes with 3 separate eyepieces, one that looks left, one that looks at the center, and the other that looks at the right, all looking at different locations, which adds extra customizability to the figure. When viewing Rengoku's core features, he wears your typical Demon Slayer corpse uniform just like the other members, minus Man Bear Pig. But this time, you can see the rear by removing the cape in which you can clearly view the kanji, Metsu, which if you're British spells out Exterminate! Talking about the cape, it's made out of plastic and the wrinkles and details embedded on, especially the ember ends that portrays Rengoku's fiery spirit, and can be used as psychological warfare against enemies who have a fear of fire.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you.
Moving down, there's Rengoku's hips with your white belt that holds the true power within. But the lower calf area is covered in flame, making Rengoku stand out among his peers. The feet are simple as well, with your typical sandals worn by your rural folks during the 1920s. Talk about accessories, look at the assortment of accessories that Rengoku is equipped with. Besides the faces previously mentioned, Rengoku is equipped with a wide assortment of hands, fists, holding hands to hold Rengoku's katana, slightly open hands, wide open hands, alternative holding hands, groping hands, a hand to grab Rengoku's bento box, which doesn't look that appetizing but is there to fill Rengoku's Giga Chad appetite, and a chopstick holding hand in order for Rengoku to have the utensils to eat his beloved bento. Looking at Rengoku's main armament, Rengoku comes with his trusty katana that possesses a black color scheme but with tints of ember on it to replicate Rengoku's fire technique. And Rengoku's katana has a white blade with an ember safety guard, which is also replicating the separate handle piece that can be attached to hilt alongside the safety guard that will be held by Tanjiro to remember Rengoku for the man he was. And as a Figma figure replicating Demon Slayer characters, Rengoku is also packaged with effect pots. The first effect is the small ember piece that can be attached to katana to replicate his fire technique. The second fire piece that are placed on the surrounding vicinity to add the extra cool factor, which is better portrayed through adding them on other characters. And similar to Tanjiro's effects, Rengoku has a separate ember blade effect used to cut and dice Oni. When viewing the size Rengoku was portrayed in, he stands at 15.5 centimeters or 6.1 inches, making him a decently sized boy. Here's Rengoku next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and other Figmas. Now, when regarding articulation, Rengoku here lives up to the Demon Slayer Figma reputation, where the articulation is impressive due to the inherent design of being a Figma figure. But when compared to other Figmas, there is room for improvement. The head can move relatively free, which is further supported through the loose neck joint, allowing for more movement. The shoulder movement is failure. Elbows can bend fairly well, and diverse movement for the hands. There are 2 separate joints on the body that doesn't add any value. The legs are not flexible and stiff. The knees can bend over 90 degrees, calf movement that is hardly seen in other Figmas but widely seen in the Monster Arts line, limited feet movement, and a slight toe bend. The Figma Rengoku Kyojuro is a figure that has its pros and cons, where the sculpt is top notch alongside the various assortment of accessories brings Rengoku as a top contender, but is driven down by the limited articulation, granting this Figma a ranking of B+.
Darkness rises and light to meet it.
Akaza here is an Oni that, unlike your Rem and Ram, is an upper moon. That means he's a Sigma male and is built different. When closely observing Akaza, someone's a bit too much into the tattoo grind as the face is covered in the blue stripes, but the details are superbly implemented as the upper moon kanji are inscribed into the eyes alongside the pointy nose and the menacing grin. Besides your average grinning face, Akaza is also accompanied by two additional faces, the first being a joyful face that's usually seen when Akaza is enjoying the good fight, and a dread-filled face which is portrayed when Akaza realizes Hashiras aren't the only demon slayers. Moving down, Akaza's body is... The six-packs are superbly rendered with the chest wear perfectly suiting Akaza's physique. That is not to mention the back, as it is also superbly rendered, validating that Akaza did his shoulder presses and deadlifts. The only gripe I have with Akaza is that it's similar to that of Inosuke, where the stomach crouch has a negative effect on the overall sculpt, alongside the two screws that awkwardly stick out. The arms, on the other hand, Akaza diligently commits to his bicep and tricep days as they are ripped, making me question my dignity as a man. Moving down below the belt, Akaza wears a white tracking pants, which helps Akaza with his mobility and eases in performing the Zaku kick. And the feet have a pair of beads alongside being painted. When it comes to the accessory department, Akaza isn't the strongest contender, but then again, the only weapon he uses are his fists, so go figure. Besides the previously mentioned faces, the hands are it. Besides your fists for making donuts out of Hashiras, you also get a slicing hand for parrying incoming attacks, and semi-open hands for expressing himself. And as with Rengoku and his effect pots, Akaza comes with his iconic snowflake emblem that is shown when Akaza is about to use his signature move. And the markings are intricately detailed, with the colors being clearly defined, with the individual kanji being also well inscribed. When it comes to size, Akaza is shorter than Rengoku by being 15.3 centimeters or about 6 inches tall, making Akaza your average Figma height. Here's Akaza next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and other Figmas. When regarding articulation, just like Rengoku, Akaza is on the fair side. Nothing outstanding, but solid nonetheless. The head can move fairly well, hardly any shoulder movement, fair elbow movement, mundane hand movement, chest is non-existent, decent stomach crouch, leg movement is disappointing, average knee movement, same applies to the feet, and toe movement. In conclusion, the Figma Akaza is an impressive release in the Figma line as it is superbly sculpted alongside possessing impressive accessories. However, the limited articulation alongside one of them having a criminally low number of accessories decreases the overall value of the figure, especially compared to modern Figma. In doing so, the Figma Akaza gets a ranking of B.